Hello, everybody. How are you? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whichever part of the world you are listening to me from. It's another beautiful day, but it's raining cats and dogs here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you can hear me, I want you to please type I can hear you in the comment section. I just want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. However, I am always typically used to talking to myself, so not a problem at all. But if you can hear me, just type I can hear you in the comment section. I want to make sure you enjoy this beautiful program today. Now, you can hear me because you are alive. You have the gift of life. The gift of life is hope for us. It gives us hope that we can set new goals, we can start all over, we can forgive people and be forgiven, right? So thank you so much. Before we get started, I want you to please like and share this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. Like and share this broadcast. So today, we have another guest, powerful guest. We always do our very best to bring in people who can add value to our program. So, welcome everybody to another beautiful episode of the Morale Booster with Dr. John Ughulu. Right. For those of you who are just watching, the Morale Booster is a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I always like to say that experience is the best teacher. Now, this program is sponsored by Main Seed Consulting Group, and we have a new sponsor. It's New Gigs, newgigs.com, right? New Gigs is a software company. So you can look them up. And for bookings, adverts, or sponsorship inquiries, please visit our website, mainseatconsulting.com. You can also find our contact information currently being displayed on the screen. Now, we are streaming on multiple platforms right now. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and podcast. For the sake of those who are listening via podcast, if you want to contact us, please visit www.johnughulu.com. JOHNUGHULU. I repeat, JOHNUGHULU.com. It's a beautiful day. Once again, like and share this broadcast. Now, today we have a guest who resides in Georgia. Her name is Vicki Wright Hamilton. Vicki has accomplished so much in life. She has done so well for herself, for her community, for women, and for everybody. And for nearly 3 decades, Vicki has had the privilege of serving an array of high metrics organizations across the country, sitting as a senior level executive and serving as a visionary advisor. She has an eye for operational excellence that balances people, processes, and technology. Mrs. Hamilton delivers consultation services on a number of corporate issues, which include, but are not limited to, transformational initiatives, change management, leadership development, employee relations, regulations, and compliance issues. Now, recently, she has set her sights on sharing her depth of personal and professional experience on television. Vicki is the host and creator of Hidden Stories. Go look for it, people. Hidden Stories, Healed Now, and Strategic Minds Making Money Move. So she's the host of two programs, which is Hidden Stories, Healed Now, and Strategic Minds. She also has a flair for making money moves. I think making money moves is also one of her programs. So when we get her on now, she will share more light on these. Now, both shows are featured on local television in the Atlanta District of Columbia and California markets. The show is also available for viewing on Vicki's YouTube channel, and all streaming services. Mrs. Hamilton is also the best selling author of her book, Game Face. Take a deep dive into her experience as a corporate executive. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want you all to join me as I bring to the stage this powerful woman, this woman who was created as a masterpiece by the master himself, God. Welcome on board, Vicky. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. What an introduction. I appreciate that, Dr. John.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My
I'm not
pleasure.
sure I can follow that introduction, but appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, Vicky, yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And we know today you will be able to inspire, motivate, and impact somebody out there. That's the whole idea. So, can you please tell us now? I know you are um, serving in the board of Women in Technology. Can you please tell me how you got to that point?
Absolutely. And I have been in Atlanta for now 25 years. And
Wow.
over 20 years ago, I won't say exactly how much over, but over 20 years ago, there was a woman who I crossed paths with, and she was the president of Women in Technology. And
Okay.
I was working at the Weather Channel at the time, and I was an executive there. And she asked me if I would be interested in women in technology and told me a lot about the organization. At that time, it was really an organization where executive women could come together, they could collaborate, they could work together. We were all around things around technology. We really wanted to take things to the next level.
Right.
As you can imagine, year after year after year became growth. The more growth we had, the more programs we had. There was a point where I was vice president, where I was president of the organization, moved on to the advisory council, and that's where I sit today. Our programs truly take you from the classroom to the boardroom.
Wow.
And the beautiful thing about this is that as we begin to think about STEM, we then said, you know what? There's an element we're leaving out. It's the arts. So we changed from STEM to STEAM, the
Okay.
science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, because we
Okay.
all know that there's technology around the arts as we
Right.
continue to move forward as well. The programs really, where our intent is to ensure that not only do you begin to be aware of what STEAM is when you're beginning in the classroom, but you get applications, you get exposed, you get to have participation in different programs along the way. Okay, so you graduate. We have colleges and universities that we are partners with, that
Great.
we work with to ensure that there's a chapter on campus. Well, you might say, well, why? Well, because not only do we want to expose them in college, we want them to see other women that look like them. We
Right.
want them to have direct contact so that they will be interested in taking a STEAM career going forward as well. Once they graduate from college, we then go into our young professionals. Our young professionals, as they're getting out there and they're trying to figure it out. How do I get started? How do I get promoted? How do I move up? Tell me what skill sets I should be gaining. What technology do I need to know? What do I need to do in the sciences? All of these areas in terms of exposure and mobility. Well, we couldn't stop there.
Wow.
After we got into getting into the young professionals and offering them opportunities, we also decided that we have to do something for older women that are established, the more established woman. Well, what
Wow.
do we do for them? And that's where we started a board readiness program so that
Okay.
we can help women who are established to get into board readiness. We also give them an opportunity to give back on another program, which is a flagship program of ours for single mothers. We really want to help single mothers to move forward. And so we are on our third class of our
Wow.
cohorts of
Wow.
offering women not only technology and cybersecurity, but a job at the end of it. We
Wow.
work with sponsors to get them employed. So
Wow.
we can help the economy and we can give back, and they can feel like I can do something with my family. I don't
Right.
have to give up. So it's been a very, very exciting time and a very progressive time. We've had hard times like everybody else. We've
Right.
had to go through the pains of growth like everybody else. But very, very proud of the organization and the leadership as we're continuing to evolve and expose young girls and women to even more areas of STEAM.
Wow, wow, that's powerful. For those of you who are listening to this broadcast and those who couldn't join from the beginning, just remember one thing. Thanks to technology, you can always watch the replay. And when you're watching the replay, remember to type hashtag replay so we can know how to respond to your questions. I told you, Vicky has a lot of powerful information to share with everybody today. Now, I have met so many powerful, strong women through Vicky, and everything she has just mentioned, she is not just saying it. She is passionate about helping women, helping young girls. You know, now they have added STEM, from STEM. The last time I spoke with them, it was STEM, just the STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. Now don't, they no longer want to limit what women can achieve or accomplish. Now, A has been added to everything:
Mhm.
science, technology, engineering, art, and math, right? So, if you are a woman, a young lady who's listening right now, you have no excuse. You have no excuse. We know it's good to start business, but before you get into business, I always tell people you need to serve, you need to learn, you need to understand organizational management, you need to understand the rudiments before you get into your own business. Am I right, Vicky?
Yes, and one of the things that I think that happens is that there's many ways to learn. You
Yes.
know, you can get exposure, attend events,
Yes.
listen to people speak, listen to podcasts, listen to events, participate in events. Those are ways to get knowledge that you're not even having to pay for.
Right.
And the value of that knowledge can be the foundation of the stepping stone for you to move up, for you to get more exposure and experience. The other thing I always say is, woo,
So
the
sorry
other
about
thing
that.
I
Yeah,
always,
it's
yeah, the
Georgia.
thunder was
It's raining.
there. The other thing I always like to say is follow your passion.
Right.
Follow those things that make you get up in the morning.
Right.
Why do I want to give back? What do I want to feel? What do I want others to feel? What do I want to give? What do I think others want to receive? So, following your passion when you begin to do this and not just check a box. Anybody can check a box. But when
Right.
you're passionate about it, it takes you a little step further. And people draw and feel off of that passion.
Right, right, right. I love that. I love that. Passion. Passion is very, very important. When you find your purpose, you must find a way to develop the passion if you don't have it, or make sure you follow a purpose that you're passionate about. But either ways, passion plays a major role. So thank you so much for all you do. And
Thank you.
I know, yes, I know you have a book. You are an
Yeah,
author at the same time. Can you please
yeah,
tell us about the book? What's the title
yeah.
of your
I
book?
my book, Game Phase.
Wow.
So, the way this book came about is a story within itself, but
Yeah.
the book is about me. One of the things that I learned as a African American woman in a male dominated industry, and always being at that executive level and not being able to look around and see enough people that look like me, and the struggles that we had to go through. And I sat back and said, just as I want my kids to do better than I'm doing, what can I do to help others to understand some of the challenges that you face? But more importantly, how can you find solutions and deal with them? So, my intent when I wrote this book was twofold. One, I wanted to show the experience of being an executive in the trials and tribulations. But
Right.
we're not just our career, we also have another part of our life, all of our personal life.
Right.
And the impacts of personal life definitely play a role in professional, just like impacts of professional life can impact our personal life.
Right.
So because of that, I decided I was going to be very vulnerable. And I was going to talk about the things that happened in my personal life because I always heard, Vicki, you always got it together. How does this work for you? They
Yes.
thought I had no problems. And I said, you
Mm.
know what? You're just seeing the glory, but there
Right.
truly is a story. And
Yes.
so I decided I was going to tell that story. So that's what this book is about, my trials and tribulations, both personally and professionally, and how I dealt with them.
Right, right. Great, great. So, those of you who are listening to this program right now, look, knowledge is power. This woman right here is a woman who has so much experience, is a woman whom you can learn from, right? She has the keys to unlock certain things that you've been looking for. So I want you to please go grab a copy of this book. Can you please show us the book again, Vicky? All right, it's titled Game Face. Those of you watching via Facebook and YouTube, you can see it, Game Face by Vicki Wright Hamilton. And those of you who are on podcast, it's Game, Game, then Face. It's two separate words, Game Face. Go purchase your copy right now. Vicky, please tell us where they can find this book to buy.
Oh, there's many places. You can find it on my website at Vicki, Vicki, Wright, Wright, Hamilton, HAM as in Mary, ILTON.com. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
So it's in both places.
Okay.
So I hope that people find an opportunity to really read and understand that I'm no different than anyone else. If
Right.
I did it, you can do it too.
Absolutely. That's correct. That's correct. Now, Vicky, there's so many ladies out there right now who want to get into the personal development space, but they have certain hurdles or challenges that are preventing them from, making this move. Some of them have young kids and they feel, for the fact that we have young kids, we need to first of all, you know, make sure these kids get to the university, thereby procrastinating. Some of them do not have the finance to get started. And when people procrastinate like that, there's a high likelihood that that person would struggle for a long time, right? What's your advice for that lady who's listening to us right now, who
Well,
is
it's
in that
interesting you asked that
situation?
question, John. I offer a online class that people can download that's self-paced that really talks about how do I get started.
Great.
And there are things you can do to get started that don't cost you a dime in terms of money. They
Right.
cost you a dime in terms of time.
Right.
But then again, if you're passionate about and something you want to do, we invest our time where we want to, where we feel
Right.
like we're going to receive. So if this is something that you really want to do, take the time to lay the foundation. Everybody, whatever it is, lay the foundation. And the best people who have this down pat are the later generations that believe in having side gigs, that believe in working for themselves because
Yeah.
they're going to put that effort into it.
Yes.
So you take what you want to do, you build your foundation of what it takes for success. Then you begin to take the incremental steps that make it necessary. So let's say you're an individual that says, oh my God, I got 3 kids, I got to work full time, I really want to do this. But
Yeah.
my passion is really working over here. Start out an hour a day, just 1 hour. And I'm going to focus on building my foundation. My goal is in 2 months to have my foundation built. Now, part of that foundation is research that's going to give you information about funding, give you information about your market, give you information about potential clients, etc. Then you begin to build that area. And people who have had the limitation of time do both of them simultaneously. So, yes, you may not do it in 6 months, it may take you a year, but it's
Right.
going to be a well defined year where you have everything in order that by the time you're ready to go, you don't have to worry about can I feed my kids, right?
Right.
The other thing is that while you're doing it, before you let that paying job go, and you're moving forward, test it out. Use pilot groups to test it out to make sure that people are going to want the content, that
Right.
they're willing to pay for the content. Use them as your advisory board to help you to develop what you want to do before you ever let your job go. So it's not like I'm doing this over here and I'm not getting a paycheck.
Right.
So let's test the waters. Let's
Test
get
the
some
waters.
feedback.
Yes.
Once you've done your focus groups and understand, you will fix things while you're still working that you didn't have to pay the cost of not making money and then having to go fix.
Wow.
The
Wow.
second thing is that the power of your network. When you have a powerful network and people know you and you're out and about, there, in our innate selves, we want to support each other.
Right.
There's some piece of us, there's somebody out there that wants to support you moving forward. It might be a mentor, it might be a coach, it might be a previous boss, but somebody wants to support you moving forward. And what you have to do is to utilize your networks to make sure that the target audience you're trying to serve, you have expanded your networks in that area. So if I'm trying to serve millennials, even as a baby boomer, I need to put myself in the space of millennials
Right.
to make sure that I'm understanding, I'm comprehending, that I'm letting them know what I'm doing so that they will say, oh my God, I see value in that. I want to pay for that. So you can do things simultaneously before you say, okay, I'm going to take the leap of faith and I'm ready to go. Because you can build some things that are in place where you have contracts to go to. You have businesses that's going to give you that first leap to get started. So it's not impossible. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It's all
Wow.
about that dedication, something that you truly want to do, but then learning the process as you go through it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Now, if you are a lady out there and you have just heard everything Vicky said, look, I am not joking. This is a woman who can work with you in terms of moving from where you are currently in your life to where you want to be. Now, if you're looking for a network of great women, of positive minds, of people who would inspire and motivate you, look, I want you to look her up right now. Have her become your coach, your mentor. And I assure you, that limiting belief that you have that is making you not get into the personal development space that you've been hearing all about, she would be able to help you overcome those limiting beliefs. Am I right, Vicky?
That's absolutely right.
Great.
It's all about that give back, and that's my whole purpose.
Right.
And I'm living my purpose. I'm living my passion, and I'm living my purpose, which
That's
is
great.
why I'm so dedicated to helping women to see the art of the possible and where they can go. You can do it. I have faith that you can do it. It's a process. It may not happen overnight, but you can do it. And you have to be dedicated to taking that time and
Right.
believing in what you're doing.
Right. That's true. You have to be in the midst of like-minded people, people who come from the same background, situation, condition as yours, but people who are trying their very best to move to the next level. And that's why you need someone like Vicky on your side, because she works with a lot of women. She works with a lot of people who, so your own case, there are people who have worse cases than yours who are currently doing so well right now. So they can
Mhm.
share those secrets. So being in an environment of only quality people, of positive minds only, can help you. Am I correct?
That's exactly right. And I'm a firm believer when you envision it, you see it, and you believe it, and you work towards it, it happens.
It
And it
happened.
may happen tenfold more than you ever thought it would. What
Absolutely.
happens as an individual is we see it, we believe it, we envision it, but we're impatient. I want it yesterday. I wanted it back then. I thought I'd have it by now. I thought I would be there. And when impatient, that's why patience is the hardest thing.
Right.
And for me, I knew I was an impatient person. I knew that taking time was hard, but I'm also a person that can get bored very easily. So I started tentacles that could build on each other and
Right.
strategies that could build on each other. So I could do multiple things at one time. So I didn't feel like I wasn't achieving or sitting back and waiting and just waiting and just waiting. There were different avenues that I was going down as I was moving forward. The other thing is when I was in a position to give for nothing. I was an executive, I was making good money, I was in powers of influence. I could give back and it didn't cost me a dime, but my time. I'll have you know, I gave back so much. I've been in business for over 11 years. And my
Wow.
clients, the people who have come to me, almost 100% of them came to me from previous
Wow.
mentees, people that I previously helped that I didn't even think about. They were
Wow.
like, I'll never forget when you did. I was like, what? I don't even remember that. I just gave. I just did
Yes.
from the heart. I didn't do to receive anything in return. But
Mm.
all that that's coming back now, it's like, wow, I
Mm.
didn't know I had that kind of influence. When they remind you of words you said, I'll never forget when you told me that if a job isn't there I wanted, I could potentially create my own job. And you
Wow.
gave me the process of how to go do it. And I did it. And I was able to make my own job and be happy and get my passion. But I'll never forget when you told me that. I said, oh, I told you that. I mean, I believe that, but I don't even remember telling you that. And it's because it came from here.
Right.
It wasn't coming from give me. It
Mhm.
wasn't like everything was about money. Everything was about it came from here because
Mm.
I genuinely wanted to see people succeed. And
Right.
that's how I feel today.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Now, sometimes, we're not saying money is not important, but
Correct.
sometimes the vision or the dream or the plan starts with you wanting money.
Hmm.
But eventually, as you grow older, as you experience life, then you would realize that purpose comes first.
Yes.
Purpose, adding value comes first. And when
Yes.
you add so much value, you make so much money.
That's right.
That's
The
why a
money will
wise man
follow.
once said, if you help enough other people get everything they want, you will get everything that you need. So
That's
thank you
right.
so much for sharing that, Vicky.
That's
Now,
exactly right.
before I let you go, because this is an opportunity, the whole idea is to inspire somebody out there. Before I let you go, can you please talk to that person who has been procrastinating for one reason or the other?
So
They,
let
they,
me
they,
say
they
this.
know what to do, but they've been procrastinating. 1 minute, please, on that.
Let me say this. Procrastination usually comes from fear. Fear not. A step forward is a step in the right direction. Not taking a step, you'll never move. You do the same thing today you did yesterday, you'll get the same results. We got to have change. Change is hard, but change can be something that you can go through, that you can put out there in a systematic way of what you want to do and how you want to do it. Don't let fear get in your way. And don't let anybody steal your joy. You can do anything you want to do that you're willing to work hard for and dedicate your time to. So don't procrastinate. Procrastination is just that thing that says I'm scared. I'm scared if I try, I'll fail. Well, guess what? Failing is a first attempt in learning. And you can't fail if you don't start. So it's okay. And when you fail at something at that first attempt, You've learned something valuable to help you improve the next time. So I don't look at failure as bad. I look at failure as something wonderful because now I'm going to make it better. So don't procrastinate. Time is all we have and is very limited. So do
That's
those
true.
things that bring you joy.
That's true. That's true. Woo. Thank you so much. So much. Time is precious. Do
Yes, it
not
is.
procrastinate. Time
Yes,
wasted can never be gotten
that's
back. All
right.
right. There, you don't have to wait for the perfect situation.
That's right.
Look, there will never be a perfect time. There will
Mhm.
never be a perfect time. Start with whatever you have,
That's
wherever
right.
you are. So, which means your first step today, you who's listening, your first step today is write down your plans, write down your goals, write down what you want to accomplish. Then the next thing I want to encourage you to do is contact Vicky. All right, inquiries, make inquiries, start networking, start talking to people who would inspire you, who would make you feel and know that it is possible. Those are the two things I want to share with you. I want to leave with you who's listening to us right now. Write down your plan, your goals, write down what you see in your mind, your vision, write it down. What do you want to accomplish? Then reach out to Vicky. All right, just send a message to her saying, look, I want you to be my coach. I want you to be my mentor. Where do we start from? You see,
Mhm.
just that question alone will break that generational curse. I assure you of that. All right. So, Vicky, how can people reach you? What social media platforms are you active?
I'm on them all. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. My Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is Vicki W. Hamilton. You can find me anywhere. My LinkedIn is just that, is Vicki Wright Hamilton. And you can also go to my website. So you have many, many means to be able to find me.
Right.
And I look forward to the opportunity to serve anybody that I can to move from point A to point B.
Awesome. That's great. So, you just heard her. She is on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and she also has a website for those of you who are listening via podcast. It's VickiWrightHamilton.com. It's VickiWrightHamilton.com. VickiWrightHamilton.com. So go look for her right now. Like I said, the first thing you should do, write down your plans, your goals, write them down. And number two, contact Vicky. Tell her, ma'am, send her a message. Say, ma'am, look, I want to take my life to the next level. I don't know where to start from. Those are questions that would help you change the trajectory. So thank you so much, Vicky, for
My pleasure.
taking time out of your schedule to come here and impact the lives of people who are listening. And I want to remind those of you who are listening to us via podcast and watching also via YouTube and Facebook. Remember to like and share this broadcast. Share the broadcast. We're not asking you for money. Just share the broadcast because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. You never can tell. You might just be saving that person who, some few minutes back, made a decision that he or she was going to take their lives in a few minutes because they felt life, they were hopeless, right? Just share the message. And when they hear this can again give them hope. That's all we're saying. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I learned so much. I always learn from her. She's got so much experience. I tap into those experience. And I want you to do the same thing. So thank you so much, Vicky. And
Thank
stay
you.
blessed, everybody.
Thank you. Be blessed.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.